Right, so World Sport Wrap here with the South African women's hockey coach, Sheldon Rostron. Sheldon, it's been about a year since the team was qualified for the World Cup event that's taking place in London in the next couple of weeks. From a coaching point of view, from a management point of view, what's gone on in the background to prepare the team for this upcoming World Cup?
I think a large focus has been around the selection of the players and the type of players that we wanted to take to this World Cup. We obviously started quite a few years ago looking at what is the way and the style that we wanted to play and being ready in this moment to be able to play that way. So essentially, making sure that all the puzzles and the pieces were put in place, so from conditioning to making sure that we had measurement tools in place to ensure that we have the success. So a lot of those smaller details and things we've been paying a lot of attention to. And I think especially from the World League, we had some success there, and I think it was based on a lot of those details that we had started to get right. And essentially, we wanted to look at how we could improve that going forward. So we tried some things at Commonwealth Games which didn't necessarily maybe work out for us the way that we wanted to. Also, we're looking at a group of players differently there to what we have here, and I think it was just a balance between the large group of players that we have in the system and trying to make sure that we give everybody the best opportunity to represent and to also be able to do what we need to do. And I think that largely has been the process going forward. So I think coming to this stage and this moment, we've had quite a lot of preparation, quite a lot of matches going, training matches, whether it be local based stuff, playing against men, trying to improve our speed and decision making processes, a lot of small refined detail and things that have gone in. And this last part that we've been busy with now is just making sure that we are very clear on where and what it is that we want to do, understanding the spaces and the zones that we want to work in, and just refining a lot of detail.
It's a nice mix of youth and experience that you're taking with you in terms of the 18-strong team that you're going along with. You expecting that to pay dividends for you based on this year-long program that you've been going
Yeah,
through?
I think there's two elements to it that we were looking at. One is obviously trying to support the youth that need to take over this team, going forward, and we're always looking at trying to identify new talent. As it is currently now, there's interprovincial tournaments taking place around the country. Our selectors are out there making sure that we are tracking those players. So we've been tracking players since 2015, making sure that we're finding the best ones to be here at this moment, and trying to continue that process and keep the sustainability and the strength of that group going forward. And we feel that the group that we have now and built over time is something that's going to carry us for a long time, and just need to keep plugging new players into the system as we go along, and that's going to allow us to continue the level. I think in terms of also being able to have a different dynamic is what we try to do. So sometimes it's difficult to get rid of the old ways and habits, and I think coming in with a new idea and concept of what I wanted, and trying to lead the group into achieving that, we want to find the players that were going to help us mold and make this idea and concept come to life. So I think that's the intention behind what we've done with the youth, and obviously the experience is not something that you can replace.
Correct.
Being able to deal with the massive crowds and things that are going to be there, and being able to guide and mentor these youngsters as they come through these processes is vitally important. But obviously also the value that those players still have and the qualities that they have are irreplaceable. And over time, it's a skill set that you build and a repertoire that you build, and it's now time for the youngsters to start understanding what their role will be and what it needs to be going forward.
Sheldon, looking at the group that you guys find yourself, for the ladies find themselves in the World Cup, you're up against Argentina, ranked 3rd, Germany ranked 6th, and Spain ranked 11th. You clearly have goals going into the World Cup tournament, but that's a tough group of nations that they face up, and looking at the makeup of the tournament, you finish 4th, you pack your bags, you fly home. What are the goals that you set for yourself?
Yeah, I think it's something that we definitely discussed in terms of the pressures that are there, but I think for us it's not necessarily to focus on what the outcomes will be. Each game for us is extremely important. We've been successful in the past being able to compete against a lot of those teams. I mean, Argentina, I think in 2014 we had some really good results against them. We haven't played them in quite a long time, so it's something I think that both teams are going to suss one another out a little bit, which might be quite an interesting aspect to work on and try and use as a tool. But I think also in terms of the successes that we've had in the past against Germany, we're always competing very close. You know, they win one, we win one, or it's always ending up in a close draw. So that's something that we definitely want to make sure that we stay extremely competitive in that game, and want to try and make sure that it's our turn to take the game. And Spain is always an interesting one. I think it's more an emotional one for us. We feel that it is a team that we can compete well against and have competed well against in the past. And it's just going to be about how we approach, I think, that game and be focused at what aspects we want to get out. I think in reality the focus for us is starting off game by game process, trying to make sure that obviously we end within the top 3 in the pool. That allows us the opportunity to compete in another match, which hopefully will be able to allow us to position ourselves higher. And obviously I think one of the main goals for us is that we want to compete in the top 10, and that is an objective that we've set from the start and from the onset of when I started, and trying to make sure that we achieve that going forward. We did it at World League, and now it's a matter of trying to make sure that we can just be consistent and stay in that category.
Well, Sheldon, first game 21st of July up against Germany. We wish you all the success. Fly the flag. We've had some fantastic inspirational messages tonight, so I wish you all success when you fly across there and represent South Africa.
Thank you very much for your support, and definitely looking to fly the flag high.